What's up everyone? Your favorite Snek with his silly tails is back. A long time no see, huh? Has it really been a half a year since my last video? You know, the one where I was packing for this trip? Well, here we are, finally, it's Greece. But of course, this channel is about photography, or at least trying to be. So if you missed my last video, here's a quick recap of the gear I brought. My trusty Nikon FM3a with 28, 40 and 135 lenses. For black and white, I packed the compact Olympus XA loaded with two film stocks I never used before. It was Kiki 320 and CineStill XX. Solo traveling didn't feel right, so I invited my friend Max to come along. Still thinking about sticking around? Here's the teaser for the gear hats. Does expensive gear really matter? Huh? Let's find out. Since we were arriving after sunset on day 0, while booking our stay, we figured out, why not to spend an extra 10 euros for a room with the sea view? The plan was simple: wake up, enjoy breakfast with lovely view, then head out to the village of Kokkari. Easy, right? Well, reality had other plans. After well-deserved 8 hours of vacation sleep, I opened this very window, ready to soak into that sea view. Well, it was a sea view, just not quite what we expected. Here life handed me lemons, literally. Already with sun blazing at 31 degrees and not a single cloud in the sky, I loaded CineStill 50D film, grabbed the much needed coffee and breakfast and parked myself in the shade. No sea view this time either. A quick bus ride later, we arrived in Kokkari, and this time no complaints. Okay, developing Kiki 320 in Radinal 1+50 was definitely not my brightest moment. I couldn't find a recipe for ADEX FX39 and honestly I wasn't in the mood to experiment, and in the result, well, let's just say grainy is one way to put it. Our spot might not be fancy inside, but it's a charming old fisherman's house with everything you need: a cozy loft bed and finally a proper sea view. What more I could ask for? Just listen to this. After a refreshing swim and just enough sun to avoid turning from a regular white snake into a crispy Snek, I grabbed my camera and started wandering. No expectations, no pressure, just snapping whatever caught my eye, exactly what I needed. Okie doke, let's talk about black and white versus color for a moment. These shots, definitely not my best work, don't get me wrong, but they will do to explain when and why I prefer black and white over color and vice versa. Of course, everyone's got their own taste and that's great, but here's what I like about black and white photography. It makes it so much easier to show and emphasize contrast or separation between objects in a scene, and it's also perfect for more formal compositions. Plus you can ignore these distracting clashing colors like someone wearing a completely mismatched outfit and just focus on the objects in this frame or on the motion itself. But black and white isn't a silver bullet in some cases. Check out this shot. It does a great job highlighting complex layers and cutting through the overload of color, but there is a downside. The person's silhouette almost dissolves into the water in the background because their luminosity is so similar. If this were a color shot like this one a bit later on 40mm, the colors would have separated the objects way more easily. But with black and white, the only way to fix this is to play with luminosity. For example, some dramatic side lighting could help outline the person. Or they could just wear a white shirt, that works too. Or, I could remove them from this photo entirely, or just scrap the shot. It's not great anyway. Now let's back to these two shots. From a photography perspective, they're nothing special, dull lighting and all, but as a vacation postcard, I'd pick the color one for the reasons I just described. Black and white just doesn't work for me. Okay, enough nerding out, back to the beach. Yep, I know, these two rolls of film probably cost more than this entire pile of tasty, delicious food, including drinks. But hey, it's a vacation, why else do we work so hard? Who needs savings anyway? You still can't afford to buy apartments, millennial loser. What a cutie pie! There are so many stray cats here I can't even put into my words. Most of them seem well fed, but still my heart breaks every time I see them. So, as promised, let's tackle the eternal question, does gear actually matter? Look, I'm not a kid anymore, I could just say it depends and wrap up this video right there. But that's no fun, right? Let's break it down properly. To keep things simple, let's narrow it down to analog film photography with manual focus lenses. That means we are looking at choices like film stocks, fast or slow aperture lenses, and camera bodies with their one big claim to fame, the fastest shutter speed they can support. These two photos, for example. Same Kodak Gold 200, same 135 lens at 5.6, same camera, same layered composition, same location, but there is one big difference. 2 hours, that's it. And the results? Night and day, if you ask me. Sure, taste is subjective, but personally, I choose the second one every single time. And the key ingredient here? Light. Good old light and shadows, just a couple of hours apart, And what just a simple vacation photo is transformed into something that feels cinematic. Warm sunlight fills the air with sea mist, and there is this beautiful backlighting that highlights silhouettes. The sunset glow even desaturates the colors, leaving us with a near monochromatic image dominated by one tone, orange. And now let's go back to gear for a second. Would a pricier film like Portra 400 or Ektachrome 100 have saved the first shot? Nope. Would a more expensive Nikon 135 2.0 lens instead my budget Series E have changed the outcome? Also no. How about swapping my Nikon FM3a for Canon AE1 or Nikon FE? Again, no. And if you're still not sold, okay, let's take a look at these two photos. This time no clear winner. They serve different purposes, of course. One is shot with 28mm lenses, the other one with 40. Same place, same subject, but what made the difference here? Lighting, timing, composition, and the choice of focal length that suited the scene. And that's the point I'm trying to make. In 95% of cases, you don't need a shutter speed faster than 1/1000th or 1/2000th of a second. Lenses brighter than 2.8 or 3.5, or some ultra expensive film stocks, or like digital cameras with 17 stop of dynamic range with unique color science marketing bullshit to create a great photo. Okay, quick side note, there are exceptions, as always. Exception number one, if you're shooting fast-moving subjects, tricky lighting, or some niche situations, the specialized gear can help, for sure. But let's be real, if you're in that 1% of photographers, you're not watching this video for advice. You already know what works for you. Exception number two, you're a fan of a bubbly or smooth bokeh and your style is built upon it. Otherwise, crappy photo or portrait with amazingly beautiful bokeh is still a crappy photo. Sorry, not so sorry. And at this point you might be thinking, wait a second, Victor, if gear doesn't matter, why do you have this Nikon FM3a or Mamiya 645 or some other very expensive stuff? And the answer is simple. This gear doesn't make my photos any better, not even a little. My shots still remain the same hobby-style pictures I could take with any other decent camera with no sweat. But here's the thing. This gear makes me feel better, like a lot better. From this sleek design of a Contax T2 to niche technical features like EV lock button on my Nikon FM3a. All these little quirks make the process much more enjoyable and faster for me. But they alone don't make photos better, period. So, does fancy gear make better photos? No. Does it make the owner feel good? Absolutely. Does it influence results in a positive way? Maybe, sometimes, but not guaranteed. Does it motivate you? Sure, but only for the first couple of weeks after the purchase. But what I do know 146% for sure is this. The only thing you really need to take better photos is to uninstall TikTok, get off the couch and go outside. Look for moments, scenes and subjects that make you want to capture them. Don't have a fancy camera? Use your smartphone. No amount of money or gear can buy that spark. And maybe that's exactly how it's supposed to be. At the end of the day, it's not about the gear at all. It's only about you. If expensive cameras or creamy bokeh are your thing, go for it, no problem. But if you're just dreaming about that gear or can't afford it, remember this. The best camera is the one that makes you want to shoot. I mean, like a pricey pan won't cook a delicious meal by itself, fancy gear won't create an amazing photos for you. That's all comes from you. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you soon with at least 2 more videos from this trip. And if you made this far, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that good stuff. Bye.